Hello and welcome to Spring Commander Forged Alliance. This is Setons Clutch. This promises to be a pretty interesting game full of very good players. You got Newton per square meter, Pascal versus Gagaita, EF versus Aeon in the middle. And I think what I'll do with Setons games is I'll run pretty quick through the early stages unless we see something that we really should look at. Gala, Aeon from Beach taking on Ij. I think Ij might be a bit outgunned here unless he does something crazy. Foley and Zoc. Okay, so Zoc versus VMC here. It's a fairly big mismatch. VMC not really known for his naval abilities. We'll see how well he does. And we got Dim in the back, so M&B, better known as Dim. Looks like he's pulling off a 1 PGen Hydro build, quite a few PGens. After the Hydro, so he's anticipating a lot of mass coming in. We'll see how he plays that. Definitely, if they had switched VMC and Dim, this bottom side would be significantly stronger. And one thing I'd be interested in is to see how Zoc plays against VMC. So he should be feeling that he can grab that island, put a lot of pressure. Zoc likes to drop off engineers middle of the ocean. Both Zoc and Craze tend to do that from beach, is to put a lot of pressure on the rock. Newton per square meter, putting some pressure on Gagaita. Some, oh wow, 2 engineers from Gagaita. He really wants to get all the mass. Let's see if that actually works out. Unless Newton per square meter can put some pressure on those engineers, he will be in a bit of trouble. Some Auroras coming in to do exactly that. We'll have to keep an eye on the scores. Usually you can tell by the overall scores for a team. Ooh, look at that. I think Gala got a personal boost. Everybody keeps giving Gala personal boosts of mass. Oh, this is perfect. Gagaita prevented... oh, wow. Look at these engineers. I think this is a robbery here. 6,000 already. So given that Newton per square meter gave away a lot of the mass to Gala, means that Ij and Dim are going to be at a disadvantage. I can see the blinking on and off of the power throttle. Dim still working on his mass extractors, although you can see he did get robbed, although he's doing quite well. Newton per square meter, 6,500 total. Gagaita now at 6,700 total. So I expected a bigger difference. That difference isn't there. VMC, I think VMC is going to kill that transport and a bomber, which will be a big loss for Zoc. And yeah, just now here, level minute 5. Yeah, Zoc needs to fly away. But VMC sensing something's wrong. If he had a scout there, he could probably... And this attack move, will that be enough? Zoc drops off a couple engineers, so that should be a factory. VMC taking his side. It appears that on the other side, interesting things have happened. A lot of pressure from Gala. Yeah, Gala really putting pressure on the rock. So this is kind of a game of the weaker rock players. As the final numbers for mid 6,900 versus basically dead even for these two players. Foley versus Dim. In terms of the mass production, looks like Foley doing a little better. But Gala with by far the top score. Yeah, we'll produce a video showing how Gala plays beach at some point. And maybe it'll be useful to show multiple build orders for each position. Something like an aggressive build order. This is interesting. Starting a Navy and putting a couple engineers on the island. So I guess the thought here is if you do build up a Navy here, it does give a lot of support to your air fights. If you have control air here, there's no way that Ij will take the island from Gala. Bombers from Dim. So Dim, unable to just sit still in tech, he's going to get in on the action. We'll see how well he plays with those. He's typically very good if he gets that bomber behind the side players who usually have air. And this is a position you rarely see people build on, but it's possible. And where is this bomber? Dim specifically killing Ij units. Still another bomber is alive. And Ij is now in the water. Yeah, he's definitely behind Gala. Gala has the island control now. The middle taken over by a Newton per square meter. Tech 2 land from Kagaito, who's building a very back defensive line. He's given up the two middle Tech 1 mass extractors. And I think he might give up, yeah, he's given up the Tech 1 PD. These are the ones that are also going to be vulnerable. So fairly defensive here from Kagaito, but he does have Tech 2 land, so he should be fairly safe. Oh, that's kind of weird. And the fact that people are using Tech 1 bombers so much more now, it makes me very happy. I think even a year ago there was a lot less Tech 1 bombing. Now Tech 1 bombers, one of the most important units in the game. It's yeah, if people saw this during GBG net days, this would probably be a little weird. Now that's how it should be. Submarines versus frigate. No way to shoot back for a frigate, so yeah, 4 subs will have no problems. Zoc is out teching, it seems. Does he have resource allocation already? He's almost done with his resource allocation, so Zoc's really gonna help out. However, look at Gala. Total domination of air. He's also got swift winds in here. But I'm not sure if that domination of air is really that useful. It did force Foley to spend a bunch of mass on Tech 1 flak, so that's something. And ASF's not coming out for Foley. This is a very intriguing battle here. Still just a Tech 1 stage. Tech 2 coming up for Ij. So Gala will need to get Tech 2 of his own here shortly. And a little bit of help from Newton per square meter, but frigate versus Auroras, really no problems. Gala does know that there's Tech 2 Navy, so that should force him to react. Yep, he's going Tech 2 Navy as well. We'll be curious to see the sequence of units for Gala in this one. It could be a couple subs, it could be a destroyer, probably not a cruiser. Yep, it's a destroyer. And in the air fight, Dim is a bit behind, it seems. He's cleaned up his trees quite nicely. Looks like a little help from Gala as well. But Foley has significantly more ASF, and Foley has more income. Yeah, so the bottom side might be a bit outgunned in air, which will create all kinds of problems. VMC versus Zoc. VMC, a lot of build capacity that he's not really using. And yeah, looks like he got resource allocation as well. Interesting. Zoc will rush island, air, or ignore island and rush. Either go very heavy 3 minute, Navy minute 4. Okay. If that makes sense to people, sure. Cruiser first from Tech 2 Navy of VMC. And actually, since VMC got his RAS, this naval battle should be fairly similar. The one difference is a UEF versus Siren. Shield's already coming out for Zoc. And I think a little more Navy so far for VMC. This battle, yeah, it'll just be a range for Ij. That's some interesting micro here. It's just an attack move from Ij. Ij probably didn't want to get too close, so he's got multiple Tech 2 ships coming up. This factory was paused for quite a while. The destroyer's finally out, yeah, and preferentially targets the cruiser. The cruiser needs to get out of there. And yep, so Tech 1. Wow, that oh, never mind, that was something else. This destroyer about halfway on its health, stays out of range. And now it's Strat bombers from... Yeah, this sucks for Gala to have this happen to you. But that's what happens when you have cruisers. Air players really like to fly over cruisers, give some safety. Some destroyers coming in from Gala from the back. This is the HQ. This is a supporting factory, so losing this will be a big loss for Gala, sitting on 2 destroyers. Yeah, he's actually successfully dodging the strats. Well, once he loses that Navy, yeah, not a good situation. I'm gonna have to slow this down. In the other ocean, yeah, it looks like EEF is gonna win this. There are a couple Tech 2 subs and quite a few subs from VMC, but I think Zoc should be in position to use torpedo bombers. He should have air control, support torpedo bombers coming in from Foley, so eventually they'll make it to the other ocean. As Gala's sitting on 3 destroyers, he won't be making any more for a little while. SF from Gala, I think those have been given over to him by Zoc. Sorry, not Zoc, but Dim. So the big story here is total air domination from the top has secured the victory for Ij against Gala. Ij will be a beneficiary of taking back the island, quite a bit of reclaim, and unopposed, these destroyers getting shot out from the air as Zoc has made a pretty big push, but has stopped. However, yeah, this is going to be pretty much even. Zoc will retreat, leaving quite a bit of reclaim. So VMC is in a pretty good position here. He's got a little more mass income already, and he's going to have more reclaim. But with all these torpedo bombers, this could be trouble for the bottom side. In the middle, Tech 3, Kagaita significantly behind in the tech race. So that's kind of what happens when you give up all this mass. And we're going to be seeing Tech 3 versus Tech 3 units in the middle. No Hydra for VMC. And no reclaim here, and this naval needs to be reclaimed. No reclaim here as well. This is where I think Tech 1 transports should be standing by with engineers and just grabbing that immediately. It's such a huge boost after a battle like this. It's thousands of mass just sitting there. I mean, if you're producing 200 mass, you're making 1,000 mass in 5 seconds. So this is probably like maybe 25 seconds of eco of your mass income just standing there. And you can imagine being ahead of somebody by 30 seconds is a significant advantage. Any Omnis yet from either player? I gotta speed this up again. No Omni from the bottom. Kagaita, even if he had an Omni, he'd be screwed. I think he's getting his RAS. Torpedo bombers now to the top. Zoc with Tech 3 sonar, Tech 3 Navy. And once EF gets to the Tech 3 Navy stage, it could be problems. VMC choosing to go heavy submarines to counter, but these torpedo bombers will be a major problem for those submarines. There's already a battlecruiser on the field for Zoc. And here, minute 20. This is going to be a lot of kills for that battlecruiser. Everything on the surface is going to disappear. You can see how quickly those cruisers died. So a shield together with some Coopers against a massive submarine force. I think the submarine force is big enough to do a lot of damage. Nice retreat with the shield. Wants to protect that shield. And that's 5 Coopers plus torpedo bombers. So eventually the submarine force will die. And not much that can really be done. Yeah, kind of painful. This is where if Gala were to win air, but I don't think he's got the numbers. He's sitting on 50. Foley's got 72. That's a very big. That's going to take a big mistake from Foley to lose air in this situation. Torpedo bombers from Newton per square meter. So that's one advantage of the bottom side is the mid player. Gala probes and retreat. So where the air players really need to pay attention, where full throttle is or power throttle is very useful. Full throttle is always useful. 40 kills on the battlecruiser. Second battlecruiser in position, multiple shields. And an air fight starts. And I think the numbers at the end are just going to be too much to overcome. Total air loss here, minute 21. And it's going to be followed up. Gala said he had to try, which I think is probably true because, yeah, they were kind of screwed. I mean, yeah, without that air fight, it was eventually going to be a loss for VMC. Perhaps if Gala won the air fight, there could have been some hope to save. But this is just a good combination of units. You can see multiple cruisers, battle cruisers, and shields. Zoc just running everything over. So VMC were working on a very expensive upgrade. And assuming that's from the back. He's got RAS right now, so... No, he's probably getting the laser. The naval battle in the other ocean. We got Tech 3 Navy versus Tech 2. Gala was behind early on. It's for the most part a destroyer force, and it's actually doing quite well. If it wasn't for that battleship, I would think that second battleship coming in is gonna dominate, I think, with these battleships. Just way too much health on these things. They can kite all day. Plus, here come the torpedo bombers, which will ruin things. And this GC. Oh, that GC really didn't make it far. Tech 3 PD plus Percy's took care of it. A nice gift of mass. Harbies will attempt to recover the lost mass. And instead, they're going to get smashed here by the UEF. As Zoc's cruisers. Yeah, this is a triumph for UEF, both on Navy and in the middle. As we see the Sirens and the Aeons really suffering. VMC finishing up his upgrade. I think that's the laser. Gala continues to push with his Tech 2 Navy. 3 destroyers, nearly full health though, and fourth destroyer coming out. It's yeah, it's just the first battleships. Sorry, these are battleships. First battleship coming out for Gala. He's significantly behind at the Tech 3 stage. Wow. VMC with a snipe. That's what he was working on. It was very quick. But how the heck did he have RAS? I guess I missed it. I guess he had RAS a while ago. Where is he gonna go next? So Foley's dead. His stuff is gonna be given. Is he gonna go back home? Where's VMC? So Ish working on PDs. That's 2. VMC has just taken out Ish. So Zoc has a rather massive force to deal with. Zoc is underwater, but this could be fairly shallow. If oh yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. The teleport is coming in. Zoc needs to go into deeper water where you can't ground fire. And no preparation from Zoc whatsoever. Does he know? Does he have any idea? He is getting hit by Tech 1 bombers. Zoc is in the middle of some upgrade that he doesn't want to cancel. He's trying to probe to find the right place. Oh, and he finally does. And there goes Zoc. Zoc probably felt he was safe, but he wasn't. That's the third. Kagaita, the mid player who's had the worst score, has a huge economy now. It's going to be up to him to finish it. Let's see. His ACU is very safe. He's not too happy. I don't know if his morale is high enough to play this one. Oh, this is nice. So Newton per square meter made a pretty fatty unit. He's already working on a second Tempest. So perhaps the bottom side could have had some hope. I mean, at this point, unless Kakaita plays his ass off here. But that was a very big turnaround. I did see that there were some very expensive upgrades for VMC, who's now back home. 56 kills, 9,000 health. So 1, 2, 3. And it was fairly early. This is why, yeah, usually all the teleport protection comes in a little later, but VMC really started working on that quite early. And that's probably because Dim had a huge excess of power. And now actually Dim in late game, I mean, he usually has huge ecos. So having Dim and Gala in a long-term game, you would never count them out. Although things were going quite bad. But now what Kakaita has to do is he needs to kill these two ships, continue to put pressure, as he needs to also micro this navy. I mean, he's got 1.1k income, so it's fairly even between these two teams in terms of income, but not in terms of power. In terms of power, the bottom side has a fairly big advantage. And coming up minute 29, Kakaita throws in the towel. I did not want to deal with that many units. So that was a fairly interesting game. Hopefully people enjoyed this one.